Another show. All right, first things first, I didn't even expect to be doing a show today. I just woke up to a bunch of tater tater bots, because remember, we can't tell the difference between the two anymore. We've uncovered that Tate has a massive propaganda machine out there that's just cranking out a bunch of bots. So I don't know who's who, but y'all were emailing me. Oh, Duke, you gonna eat your hat now? Tate is free. They let him go. They let him go. He is free. I told you, Duke. You see, you shouldn't have been so certain. See, you look who you owe an apology. He's free. Look at y'all. Y'all are just. Are y'all stupid? I mean, are y'all tater tots a special kind of stupid? Chat, let me know if y'all can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. All right. Are you a special type of stupid, or is reading and researching not part of your vocabulary or actions? Right? Like it seems like for people who talk about the Matrix making you stupid, you're willingly making yourself stupid. Okay? Because if you actually read what's going on, it's not really even all that different from house arrest. He just went from now you're not allowed to leave the house to you're not allowed to leave the county. That's it. Without express permission. What are we doing here? It's the same thing. It's not like they're saying, hey, you know what? You have carte blanche all over Romania and you can travel wherever you want. You could do whatever you want. No, it's like, bruh, you're going to be moved and you can't see past the city. That's it. You're right here. Book arrest. You're tied in. All right. Anything that you want to do besides that, you got to let it know by the judge. All right. And it's under judicial control. So for the next 60 days, possibly, they're saying until October, that he's going to be underneath this judicial system. And here's the reason why you tater tots, while you're over here celebrating this little battle over here, there's a whole war that he's about to lose, and he's going to lose badly if he doesn't do a couple things. Okay. Now, here's the thing. They're still under investigation, and the way they might be looking at it, because since this is the most high-profile case that is out there when you're talking about trafficking, and these guys are most definitely guilty. All right, you got to understand how they're going to want to play this, right? Tate has been under being detained, and he's been under house arrest for God knows how long, right? So essentially, if the Romanian authorities want to represent a front that seems fair to the defendant, what they're going to do, they're going to say, all right, at some point, there's going to be some kind of opening up of the rules or relaxing of the rules. And we've actually seen patterns of that happening, from letting him sit in jail and keep extending his stay to then finally approving house arrest. Okay. And him basically staying there until now you're locked down in the city. You can't leave the capital of Bucharest. You're basically locked in until they go to trial. All right. Now, what Andrew Tate has done, and it is just marvelous because he is so great at, but just putting things and framing words in a way to make it seem as though like you got the wrong guy. Okay, I'm innocent. They're gonna find me innocent. Whatever the hell he wants to say. Okay, listen, buddy, no, no. Just because they lightened it up and said, hey, instead of house arrest, we'll put you under judicial control, and that doesn't mean that the charges are dropped. You're still going to trial. You got 60 days. And the closer we get to this, the heavier you got to be breathing right now, okay? Listen, you're going to trial. And I think this is the major thing that a lot of you tater tots seem to miss, okay? He's locked down in the city. At best, he can go to the mall, right? However many malls are left in Bucharest. It's not like he's able to travel out. He can't do shit, okay? So he's still stuck there. If you want to interview, you still got to fly over to Bucharest. He can't leave. Like, y'all are thinking, see, he got y'all thinking that just because they let him free to roam around the city, he's free and all charges to drop. This is how much y'all want to cope for your boy. Listen, man. If y'all actually cope for yourselves, the same amount you guys cope for Tate, listen, y'all will be successful. You wouldn't even have to buy the Hustler University programs. You will be successful. If you put this amount of energy and mental gymnastics to cope for a guy who is clearly guilty and who is clearly going to jail, okay, or prison, I'm sorry, because he's already been in jail. They moved him out. He's facing prison time, serious prison time, all right? Listen, y'all need your brain checked. All of you tater tots, you need your brain checked. You're not doing research, and it's funny. You're going to give this guy so much benefit of the doubt. You're going to jump on so much little nuggets of good news, good treats and whatnot, right? You're not focusing on the overall picture here. All right. See, listen, Tate got this platform. He's going around saying the government is against them and, they're making this unfair. What better way to remove that argument than to say, hey, listen, dude, I mean, we went from keeping you in jail to house arrest, and then we went to, keeping you locked down in the city. So as far as we know, we were being fair considering the seriousness and the severity of what you're being accused of, all right? We're talking about trafficking in continued form and realistically rape and forming a criminalized organization to do that. They got people who are arrested and close to you, like the Vlad guy. He's not going anywhere. Like, again, apparently research and just doing the basic digging and common sense doesn't exist to tater tots, okay, or tater bots, because let's not forget, Andrew Tate has a massive, okay, propaganda machine. For someone that likes to cry about the Matrix, he's got profiles on social media that are owned by other profiles that are filled with nothing else but bots. Like, it's crazy. You got whistleblowers from his, cult network courses, all right, who are dropping like flies. It's over for this guy. Like, if you don't see the writing on the wall, I don't get it. There was a debate I was watching earlier, and it was with Destiny debating one of Andrew Tate's bots, right? That this guy was so gung-ho about Andrew Tate, right? I think he was Islam. He was a Muslim, right? And it was him versus the Muslim dude. And I might react to it because the mental gymnastics this individual did just to avoid facing up to the actual facts, it's insane. It really is insane. So listen, before we go into this article and play this little video, I want to ask you, Tater Tots, just a quick question, okay? How do you know the information that you're receiving wasn't doctored and dolled up by Andrew Tate's propaganda machine? We know he has it. It's official now, right? All the things that he's been preaching and saying, how do you know it wasn't manufactured by one of his henchmen behind the scenes? You don't know that anymore. Y'all don't know what is true or not when it comes to this guy, all right? But what we do know is true is what the indictment says, because it's a legal document. It's based off of evidence. It's based off of what they found, what they seized, and the records and all that. He's not getting that shit back. This guy's done, all right? If you guys, I mean, for those of you guys who talk about art of war, you're so focused on your little battles and victories. I mean, listen, chat, they did the same thing when he moved from jail to house arrest, right? Everybody flooded the comments. Oh, Duke, see? He's innocent. Look what happened. They moved him from jail to house arrest. huh? He's still locked down. Okay. Fast forward till today. Duke, I told you he's innocent. Well, what happened now? They moved him from house arrest. Now he locked down to the city. Is he allowed to leave the country? No, he's not allowed to leave the country. He's still under arrest, bro. Listen, I can fly to Romania. He can't fly here. I guarantee. All right, listen. The only hope for a guy like Andrew Tate, okay, I'm gonna just be real with y'all right now, is if he figures out how to like jump bail and escape the border. That's the only way he's going to survive this. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are people in the Tate camp who are probably looking at these types of options to sneak Tate out of the country, because realistically, that is the only chance he has. He's got to pull a Gonzalo. All right, he's got to pull a Gonzalo right now, because other than that's for those of you guys who know, Gonzalo is someone who's actually being persecuted by the Ukrainian government, right? Slavic countries, Eastern European. What do you know, right? They basically are. He ran away from Ukraine because they basically locked him up for speech. That's it. Like, that's it. If you look at his indictment records, he was locked up for speech. They let him out on bail with his passports and everything like that, and he jumped ship. And good for him, because if he would have stayed and went through the trials, he's going to get found guilty for just speaking his mind. Now, Romania borders Ukraine. They're like that if you're looking at them, right? Listen, I'm just saying, if Tate wants to be serious about this, you better run. You better run, Tate, bro. Or you better run, boy. Listen, you stay here and you fight it, you going to jail. You going to jail. There's just too much evidence against you. So that's the only advice I'm going to give Tate right now, because he did manage to secure freedom outside of his house. I mean, he's not allowed to leave the city. He can't go to the next town, right? He's not allowed to bribe witnesses, right? Because they're monitoring everything. So his best bet is to somehow figure out how to slip out of the city. And if he gets out of the city, now he's got to figure out how to get out of the country, because you're gonna get found guilty. It just is what it is. Let me pull up this article here, okay? Because everyone they're just celebrating. They're saying, "Oh my God, dude, he won! They let him go. They let him go." All right. See, I told you, dude. They let him go. All right, let's do this. All right. So we're gonna read the actually, you know what? Did I put Forbes on here? Let's read Forbes first, okay? Andrew Tate freed from house arrest in Romania, but still faces restrictions ahead of trial. Okay. Let's continue. Let me bring this full screen. Actually. All right. So controversial influencer Tate was released from house arrest Friday in Romania. Ooh, let me make this bigger. Hold up, chat. Let me see if I can get this ad out of the way. He confirmed though he will still be subject to judicial controls as he await trial on charges of rape, trafficking, and organized crime. All right. So Tate, these are the key facts. Let's get into it. All right. Tate judicial restrictions will last through October 2nd, according to a ruling in the case cited by The Guardian. It's still unclear when Tate and his trial in Romania will take place. Tate is also facing a likely civil case in the UK by multiple women who allege he physically and sexually assaulted them. The claim was first announced in April by 3 alleged victims who said they were intended to pursue legal actions, and a 4th woman joined the planned litigation in June, alleging Tate raped her, choked her until she was unconscious after she met him at a club in 2014. Tate has also denied those allegations. After initially rising to fame as a kickboxer, Tate has become a known popular social media influencer and self-described misogynist who controversially promotes traditional masculine values, as drawn widespread criticism for his numerous offensive comments against women. Tate was banned from social media platforms in August of 2022, where he had accumulated millions of followers over his controversial views. So he was reinstated by Elon Musk. All right, let's go to the Associated Press, because they had a little bit more information about his release, right? So they were saying here, the decisive internet influencer who is charged in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women won an appeal Friday to be released from house arrest. his spokesperson says Tate won't be able to leave the country. He also will not be allowed to be in close proximity with any of the other defendants, any of the witnesses, or any of the alleged victims and the immediate family. His spokesperson, Mattia Perscrew, said in a statement. And the reason why they're specifying this, chat, and you got to understand why they're doing this. The reason why they're doing this is because they tapped Andrew Tate's phones. Right? They got his phones on wiretap and everything. So what they're basically saying is, bro, we saw and got evidence of you trying to reach out to politicians and bribe them about this case. All right. We also have evidence of you trying to reach out to victims, trying to bribe them about this case. Right. So you're right now, if you do any one of these things while you're out, it's a done deal, right? Even though they already have evidence of that, so that's a whole separate thing, right? So there's a good reason why they're specifying that. This positive outcome gives us confidence that more favorable developments are on the horizon, Prescrew said. And I think this guy is the spokesperson, right? And he said the exact same thing when Andrew Tate was when Andrew Tate was let out under house arrest, right? Oh, these are positive. Dude. Like, it's just, they're taking you out of the fire and they're putting you in in a frying pan. And they're just slowly turning up the heat, right? Just giving you the rope, right? That's essentially what I see this as. But again, let's just keep going. And to be fair to Tate's legal team, they've been going hard on these appeals, right? Because all these appeals have been getting rejected upon being rejected upon being rejected. So it's interesting to see them celebrate their small victories. The decision that Bucharest Court of Appeal comes after prosecutors formally indicted the 36-year-old Tate in June, along with his brother Tristan and two Romanian women in the same case. All four were arrested in late December near Bucharest and have denied the allegations against them. The court's decision says all four defendants will be subjected to geographical restrictions. Hey, Tater Tots, geographical restrictions. He's still locked down. He's not free. Okay, so stop perpetuating these false narratives that he's free. Listen, the way you say he's free is if the government comes out and says, we're dropping all charges and Mr. Tate, you are free to go of everything. I would believe it. But that's not what's happening here, all right? His media campaign and his propaganda team, all right, the Tate propagandist force, they're out there in full task, and they're pumping these things out, these videos, these YouTube channels. They can't get enough. They're promoting this thing saying he's free. He's still locked down, okay? He's still locked down. Y'all need to wake up. They didn't drop the charges. 60 days from now, we may have trial. There hasn't been one evidence on the Tate camp dropped to even proclaim their innocence. You notice the entire argument these guys have been giving you this whole time is that there's a fictional thing called The Matrix, based off of a movie, by the way, that is targeting him because he says the most generic shit every other manosphere person does. It has nothing to do with the cameras they got. It has nothing to do with the DMs. It's got nothing to do with the logs and the tracking and the corruption. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It just has to do with TikToks and the good things that he's been trying to say about men. Y'all need to wake up, okay? They're just trying to give him a fair chance. That's it. Jesus, you tater tot. Like, I want to feel bad for y'all, but I don't at the same time because, like, y'all are bringing this shit on yourselves, and I just can't understand for the life of me. Y'all want people to give you facts, but you're willing to guzzle down propaganda in a heartbeat just because it comes from somebody you like. Like, realistically, what's the appeal of this guy? I don't get it. I mean, his best goddamn motivational speak is do your best, right? Y'all saw that interview with Candace Owens. Hey, you've been to prison, Andrew Tate, all right? You know, what do you have to say for a guy like you going through all that? Well, I did my best. And see, this is what is wrong with society, all right? With young men nowadays, can you look at yourself and say you did your best? Huh? The fuck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. Does that sound profound to you? Do your best. What is this, a Nike commercial? Just do it. Shut the fuck up. Like, a lot of the shit he says is super fucking basic. It's because he flashes the money, he flashes the cause. Y'all are ready to forgive the fact that he screwed over thousands, hundreds of thousands of young men out there, stole money from them practically, and then fucked over a bunch of women, not only in the UK, but in the US and now in Romania. And we're all surprised that he's being indicted, okay, formally indicted at the age of 36 for all of these things he was bragging online for. Like, it's almost like y'all don't want to see the truth of something, huh? Like, Jesus. Anyways, let's get back to this article before I just go off, because y'all are just losing your minds. Like, okay, have your battle. It's okay. You won this battle. Like, I guess he's still going to jail, bro. His lawyers have done nothing aside from file these crazy appeals. All right, he's done nothing to actually stop them from snitching. Okay, they got him. All right. The court's decision says all 4 defendants will be subjected to geographical restrictions, limiting them to the territories of Bucharest municipality and nearby, I don't know how to say this, county, unless they get prior approval from the judge. So, unless they get approval from the judge to leave the county, all right, they're not, you can't leave. You're locked down to the city, buddy. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. It is what it is. So, I mean, you tell me, is this freedom? All right. Is this freedom? Let's just be honest here. Are you really free if you can't even leave the city? What if you wanted to go to the next town? You can't even do that. You got to get permission. You're not free. Jesus Christ. And then it says, standing outside his large home near Bucharest on Friday, Andrew Tate told the media, "We've been completely innocent since the beginning of this." That's a lie. And Andrew Tate is known for doing this, right? He's going to take this, and this is what his PR team is so good at, right? He's going to take this, and he's going to spin it as some kind of victory, and put the blame on the Romanian government because, they're attacking an innocent man. You're not innocent, bro. You're not innocent. They got you. It is what it is. All right. So he keeps proclaiming your innocence, but yet the charges get upgraded. Like, I don't get it, bro. In January, and this is a quote, so this is probably him talking. In January, when I was thrown in a jail cell, the media reported and told the world I was a terrible person. They said I hurt people and that I make a lot of money from criminal enterprises, he said. And here we stand 7 or 8 months later, and I've not seen a single victim on the news. Yeah. Why would the victims go to the news? So that you guys can say, oh, these victims, look at them just going for media attention. And the smartest reason why they won't go to the news, all right, is because there's a pending indictment and investigation against you. Just because you're dumb enough to go on the news and proclaim your innocence don't mean they have to go on there and fuck their own case up for them. They're not going to do that. So the excuse he's using, this is him. This is the interview right after he's out of house arrest. Yeah, here we stand 7 or 8 months later, and I've not seen a single victim on the news. That don't mean you're innocent. Hey, that doesn't mean you're innocent, dog. It just means they're waiting till trial, because that's when victims make an appearance, okay? It'd be weird if a victim is doing a media tour talking about, yeah, I was a victim. It was me. Yeah. You get some of these girls that are being interviewed, right? But their faces aren't showing, right? So what is it? It's just because you need a target. You need a target so your Tate propagandist team can go start smearing them up, because we know that's what y'all do. So, I mean, this is crazy. Let's continue, because this guy is just like, first of all, listen, you get released. You get released under house arrest. What is the first thing Andrew Tate thinks of? Let's call a press conference. It's like, God damn it, bro. You're not learning your lesson. Stay away from the media right now. Okay, you got 60 days. Shut the fuck up and figure out how to get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what I would do if I were you, bro. Hold on, we got a super chat. Dev, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Dev says tracker on the phone, ankle bracelet probably. They got all that stuff on them. And they haven't said yet if they've given back Tate his his passports and IDs and whatnot. I highly doubt they gave them back to him. So, because if you're locked down in the city, if you're under judicial controls, I'm assuming they have his passport. So it's going to be incredibly hard for him to flee the country. But that would be his best bet, because realistically, if he stays, he's going to prison. Like I don't care what y'all are saying. If he stays in Romania, he is going to prison. And I wouldn't doubt if Andrew Tate already has some kind of plan to run. And I would say, listen, if y'all want your top G, he got to pull a Gonzalo. He's going to prison. There's just too much evidence. They got him on trying to bribe politicians, bro. At the very least, they're gonna get him on tax evasion and the trafficking. Hands down. Like y'all are just. This is just too much. This is just too much. He's stuck, bro. He's not going nowhere. So I don't know. Like, again, it'll make a huge difference. Let's say if he has his passport, right, then he can run to the embassy, or he can, like, cross the border or do some crazy shit, right? But if he's locked down, they don't give him his ID cards or traveling documents back and whatnot. I'm assuming they're holding on to all those documents. I mean, it's going to be really difficult for him to flee the country. And on top of that, yeah, he's looking at some serious time. So even Tate's not really even, I mean, it seems like he's celebrating, but it's just more media smear things to make himself look like he's innocent. He's not out of frying pan just yet, right? So he says, if the defendants violate the terms of their judicial obligations, the court reading states can be returned to the house arrest or preventative arrest. The Tate brothers, who are dual UK and US citizens, challenge a court July 18th decision to keep them under house arrest as the criminal case against them continues. The brothers won an appeal in late March to be moved to house arrest after spending 3 months in a police detention facility. Romania's anti-organized crime agency, DICOT, had requested in June that judges extend the house arrest measure after the agency filed its criminal investigation. Andrew Tate, who has been accused of peddling conspiracy theories online and has amassed 7.5 million Twitter followers, has repeatedly claimed that prosecutors have no evidence against him, and there is a political conspiracy designed to silence him. Listen to this guy. Even his own lawyers are saying, I don't know nothing about no conspiracies. We just know about the case we got to deal with. There's no evidence, but DICOT is dropping evidence against you. There's no evidence, but they got DMs of one of the girls. What do you call it? Is it who's that girl that was beating up the one chick with the what's her name? Was it Luana? Whatever it is. She was the one that was ripping up the boobs and the stitches and whatnot. Her, right? They got y'all. They got the messages. They got the DMs. What are you talking about? They got no evidence. Like, oh yeah, are we like, come on, bro. Like, as Tate's playing his media game, they're playing their game too. They're dropping the evidence. They're just letting you know right now, hey, we got something, bro. We're not gonna release all of it. We're gonna keep the Tate brothers unbalanced, but we got it. Yeah, get out of here, dude. Like, the fact that he's still going out here saying there's no evidence, chat. This lets you know he's playing a propaganda. This is his propaganda machine at work right now. That's what he's doing. And a lot of these guys, they're eating this shit up. Like, I can't tell you how many inboxes I got, right? Talking about, Duke, you were wrong. He's free. Okay. Is he allowed to leave? No. So he's not free. Okay. This is just like when he won the house arrest appeal, right? Y'all came to me saying the same shit. Duke, he's free. Is he allowed to leave the house? No. He's not free. Jesus. And before that, y'all said he wasn't going to get indicted. Again, y'all notice a pattern here? Chat, are we noticing a pattern here? Y'all need to wake up, dog. If Andrew Tate doesn't figure out how to get out of Romania, he's going to prison. That's it. And that's why DICOT has been fighting the house arrest. They've been fighting, and so far they've been winning, right? Because the lawyers have been appealing. They've been saying, let these guys go. And DICOT files their counter motion, and then the judges, they side with DICOT. They're saying this guy's a flight risk or whatnot. So in this case, DICOT lost. All right. So the lawyers won this, and they finally got the house arrest moved from house arrest to city lockdown. That's it. All right. So he's not allowed to leave the municipality of Bucharest. It is what it is. All right. And that's going to be for the next 60 days. So now at this point, what the prosecutors can use this argument and say, because no doubt the Tate camp is going to say there's been abuse of power or, you know, the mistreatment of the defendant, right? They're going to make all those claims because, oh, they locked me in jail for over 180 days and, you guys didn't formally charge me, or, they locked me under house arrest for 7 months and, this was against human rights, right? I don't know if they're going to do that. But then the prosecutors can point to say, hey, listen, he got under house arrest, so it wasn't that bad. I mean, look what he was saying on social media and whatnot. And now they can say, hey, listen, for the last 60 days before he went to trial, he was allowed to move around the city. So you can't say we treated him bad or anything like that. So don't get it twisted. There's a lot of this stuff at play here. But let's continue. Dicot alleges that the four defendants formed a criminal group in 2021 to commit the crime of human trafficking in Romania. You get that? Not to commit the crime of stealing TikTok accounts, to commit the crime of human trafficking. Okay, I know the tater tots, they want to fool you and say it's all about TikTok accounts. No, the Dicot's pretty clear on what they're accusing the Tates of. It's not stealing TikTok accounts, all right? It's human trafficking. So, as well as the United States and Britain, all right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't even think the U.S. Embassy is going to help you on this one, buddy. I mean, if they get you on trafficking in the United States alone, that's a problem. That's a big problem, my guy. 7 female victims in this case, Dicot said, were lured with false pretenses of love and transported to Romania, where the gang sexually exploited and subjected them to physical violence. One defendant is accused of raping a woman twice in March of 2022, according to the agency. The women were allegedly controlled by intimidation, constant surveillance, and claims they were in debt, prosecutors said. Andrew Tate was previously banned from several prominent social media platforms for expressing hate speech and misogynistic comments, including that women should bear responsibility for being sexually assaulted. Several women in Britain are also pursuing civil claims to obtain damages from Tate, alleging they were the victims of sexual violence. During their investigation, prosecutors have ordered the confiscation of the Tate's brothers' assets, including 15 luxury cars, luxury watches, and about $3 million in cryptocurrency. So they got all of that. So that's the end of the article there. So let's look at this video here of Tate's press conference, and let's see what he's got to say about this.
When I was thrown in the jail cell, the media reported and told the world I was a terrible person. They said that I hurt people and I make a lot of money from criminal enterprise. And here we stand 7 or 8 months later, and I've not seen a single victim on the news. I don't know if you have. I've seen lots of girls sticking up for me, lots of people defending me. I've not seen a single person stand up and say that I have hurt them. Not one. It's very exhausting to continue to perpetuate lies. It's very hard to keep lies afloat when you have no actual evidence. We've been completely innocent since the beginning of this, and I have to give absolute faith to the Romanian judicial system for finally making the right decision and letting us free. I'm sure in the end we'll be absolutely exonerated, and everybody who was pushing these lies and reporting things on repeat without any substantial evidence are going to have to analyze within themselves why they decide to try and destroy people's lives purely for views.
Bro. already there's so many lies told. You're not innocent. They're not framing you. You did these things. You bragged about these things. They got you on these things. They have your evidence. They have all of your assets. The fact that you're still doing this, it's a propaganda machine. He wants you to believe he is innocent. He's still promoting that. Everyone's lying. They're trying to ruin your life. They're not trying to ruin your life. They're just dropping the evidence they have, and what we have is pretty goddamn damning for you, and you're not realizing that, right? You keep coming out here and just doing these fabrications that it's just they're about the things you said online and hate speech, and they're not doing that. They're not doing any of that. They saw you bragging about the shit that you were bragging, all right, and women came forward to say, yeah, the shit he was bragging about, it's true. He did that to me. They raided your house, and this wasn't the first time, because the same shit happened in the UK, where you're also facing civil charges. All right, so it's incredible to me that this guy has a pattern of behavior of doing this thing, and he's still going on this propaganda campaign saying he's innocent. You're not innocent, bruh. All right, you're just saying this for the birds and the tater tots, okay, and the bots out there. You're not innocent. You're going to prison. Like, I don't get it. Like, you keep doing this. It's just now the prosecutors, they're not gonna take it easy on you, and I really hope they don't. I hope they throw the book at you, bro, for the smear campaign you've been doing to the country. Oh, hell no.
I've done nothing wrong. God knows I've done nothing wrong. In my heart, I know I've done nothing wrong. I think the people at home who with a functioning brain understand we've done nothing wrong, because nobody has yet to identify a single victim which is saying that we've done anything to them since the beginning of this entire process.
He says they have not identified one victim. Bro, they caught you. They got screenshots of you trying to reach out to potential victims and bribe them. They've been watching you since you've been out. They didn't realize you were stupid enough to go on your cell phone and start reaching out to senators and other politicians to try to get them to campaign on your behalf. They got you on all of that. I'm pretty sure you know your phones are bugged now. So if you're saying they didn't find the victims, it's because they already found you trying to find them. So the victims exist. There's the screenshots, there's everything. The fact that he keeps doing this, again, it's for his tater tot audience. It's for his fanboys, okay? Because then they can come to a channel like this and they can do, yeah, Duke, I told you we're wrong. And then when he finally ends up in prison, they're going to come back here and we're like, huh? What did we say? Oh, that right. Y'all were celebrating those little battles. You couldn't see the big war right up ahead. Y'all couldn't see the war. You don't realize the longer this shit is taking, is letting you know that there's a lot of shit they're pouring over. First of all, this was supposed to be a 60-day ordeal, okay? This was the judges were so after they were formally indicted, the judges were supposed to take 60 days. Now you're telling me they're gonna take another 60 days, but for that extension, they don't want to keep you under house arrest to make it look bad. Dog, there's just so much to pour over. You should be focused on trial. Bro, like I'm telling y'all right now, if the Tates don't flee the country with this newfound freedom, right, if they don't manage to sneak out and slip out of the country, they're going to prison. I don't get it, bro. Like, y'all tater tots are just so desperate. If y'all did this a much amount of coping to fix your lives the same way you're coping for your daddy, maybe you'd be somewhere right now. Maybe you wouldn't turn out to be such a disappointment. But like, just listen to this, yo. And it keeps getting worse, all right? And not just for Andrew Tate, but for people around him. I got this video over here from Sky News. Let's see what they got to say, and then we're going to get into the backlash that a lot of these people are getting right now.
In court has decided that the influencer, divisive influencer, has to be said, Andrew Tate, can be released from house arrest. He's won an appeal in Romania. I'm trying to get some more details on this. He's been held under house arrest along with his brother, hasn't he, for a number of months now, since I think the end of last year. But a judge has decided that certainly Andrew Tate, don't know what will happen to his brother, can be freed from house arrest pending trial. He's waiting for a trial on the charges of human trafficking. The Bucharest Court of Appeals, this was, that he's taken, and his legal team have taken the case to. It's given a written ruling in the past couple of minutes saying this announcement, this ruling replaces the house arrest measure with that of judicial control for a period of 60 days from August the 4th, which is today, until October the 2nd. So a couple of...
This, like, if you guys were smart, if you tater tots were smart, you would be seeing this as a massive red flag. You would, on one hand, you have Andrew Tate saying there's no evidence. On the other hand, the judges were supposed to look at it and take 60 days. But they're telling you right now, they're taking even more time to review the evidence. Meanwhile, Tate is trying to convince you right now that, they're dropping it, there's no evidence because they haven't produced anything. No, that means there's just so much that it's taking them another 60 days. And for that 60 extra days they're taking, all right, I know they've been denying your appeals. They're letting you go on this one, right? But you're still locked down to the city. y'all should like be really worried on why it's taking so long. Because to a smart person, and if you look at other cases that Romania have done similar to this, all right, if it was false, typically it gets thrown out pretty quickly. All right, when they go through the process and go through the investigation and whatnot, it gets thrown out pretty quickly, right? By the time it gets to the judge. Now, sometimes, some prisoners aren't as lucky as Andrew Tate is. Sometimes, like, some of these prisoners are probably held for longer, right? They're probably locked down for longer, all right, in jail, and they probably aren't even afforded the opportunities of house arrest, right? So that just tells you how much Tate's money is really taking him in Romania right now. So it's helping him out. But realistically, the fact that it's taking this much time, it's just too much, bro. Like, y'all, this is getting bad. Pat Freeman, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. It says Boondocks need a new seasons ASAP. Fact. This is all gold. All of this shit right here, the Andrew Tate phenomena, it's all gold right now. Porsche 911, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Porsche says house arrest removal is a big mistake. Also, last live stream was sick. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Porsche 911. Good to see you around. But yeah, I personally think it was a mistake by the judges. But remember, on the last appeal they had, right, 2 judges were definite no. 1 judge was like, maybe we let him off, right? So maybe this time Tate was able to pay however much he was able to pay to get a second judge to go ahead and rule in his favor. So that probably is what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of corruption again about that. But realistically, when it comes down to what he's being indicted for, there's no easy way to escape this. He's not going to escape it that easy, especially when there's all of this eyes on. It's going to be difficult. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a big mistake to let him out because he's a huge flight risk. Now, even me, I'm over here telling him, listen, here's the thing. It's a good thing for Tate, right? It's a good thing for him, but it's not a good thing for the government because Tate has the resources to get out of town. All right, he has the resources to be able to do that. I don't know if they confiscated all of his money, right? But I'm sure he has the resources from some of his press conference and YouTube collabs that he's doing, right? I'm sure either Candace Owens paid him for that interview or somebody paid. He's getting money somewhere, all right? So he has the resources to be able to escape the city and flee, all right? And all he has to do is go to a country where they don't recognize any treaty or relationship with Romania, and it's a done deal, right? But at the end of the day, the government has to be really careful. But realistically, he's out. He's out under city arrest. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it. He's under city arrest. He can't leave the municipality of Bucharest, which I wouldn't consider that a win. But I guess according to the Data Tots, it's a win. So go ahead. Keep focusing on these little battles, my boys. Okay, you're not winning the war. All right, there's an overarching sword of Damocles hanging over this guy's head right now. He knows it. Tristan knows it. His attorneys know it. They all know it. Listen to Andrew Tate talk, bro. He himself is still knowing that this has to go to trial. Okay, but he wants to convince you that he's free. He's done. Chat, wake up, y'all. But listen, it's getting bad for not only Tate, but Candace Owens as well, because the backlash that she's getting it's actually getting kind of interesting because people are flaming her ass right now. There was this video done by this YouTuber. It's called The Authentic Observer, and she basically broke it down like it was perfect. It was perfect. All right. And she basically broke down the interview that Candice always did, the hypocrisy of Candace Owens. And not only that, there are a lot of people right now that are getting on Candace Owens. And they're saying, you know what, Candace, after this Tate interview, bro, you got to turn in your Christian badge. You got to turn in your Christian badge because, matter of fact, throw your conservative badge on that one too, because we don't believe you. We don't believe a word of what your values are or what your principles you claim to be, because we saw how you did Steven Crowder and we saw how you did Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate definitely doesn't represent our values. So we're going to have to question you. All right. And this video is just completely interesting because it broke down a lot. So let me go ahead and play this and y'all let me know if you can hear the audio.
Reputation by resorting to the same tricks and tactics that legacy media has been doing for decades. Well, except that they did. Candice did. How is it that myself, just some girl with a camera and no team behind me, had done enough research on the Tates and knows enough about this case that I noticed when Andrew Tate was telling provable lies in that interview? But Candace Owens, media personality, and with all the resources of the Daily Wire behind her, apparently decided to interview Tate with zero knowledge of him, the case, or any of the facts.
Look, hold up. Look at this clown. Look at this clown. He says Duke swears he's going to prison. You don't even know 10% of the case. This dude hopes Tate runs so he can be like, see, he's guilty. Are you fucking dumb? Do you not do any research? All of the research I did came from the Romanian government. We read the articles of what they classified as sex trafficking. We read the indictment papers. We read everything. All right. So unless you're saying the government doesn't have all the case or the leaked evidence wasn't what it is, you're a clown. I can't believe you just, bro. See, this is the delusion of a tater tot. Look at this brain-fried potato over here. Look at him. Look at this guy. Are you serious? You don't know 10% of the case? Listen, I would say about 5% of that was provided by Andrew Tate. The other 5 was, are you kidding me? You're an idiot, dog. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I just had to drop that. That was just like, how can you say that? It's all over the place, bro. Look at the indictment. What do you mean? Did you read it? I could tell you don't even know 10% of the case, because if you read it, you would be like, okay, they look like they got some sauce here because they're dropping a lot. But you were able to look at that and say, I don't know 10%. Where the fuck do you think I got it from? Oh, wait, it's probably one of these Tate conspiracy places, huh? I can't believe you put that in there. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. You're crazy.
Like she'd rolled out of bed that morning and decided on a whim that it would be fun to interview one of the most controversial figures of the year and thought, yeah, I'll wing it. This was some of the worst journalism I've seen in a very long time, and the Daily Wire should hang its head in shame for this absolute dishonest disgrace. Why is it that none of you journalists can get your bloody act together? The BBC failed in their Tate interview because they decided to waste time virtue signalling and accusing him of misogyny and being mean rather than focusing on the facts of the criminal activity that he's accused of. You just gave him and his followers an easy out. Congratulations. Tucker failed because he also apparently seemed to know nothing about anything. He allowed Tate to lie about his charges on camera, which a quick look over the court documents before the interview would have solved that problem. And Candice failed because she's tribalistic and ideological and has proved to me over recent months that she doesn't really have any values. Instead, she has a team, and she'll abandon her supposed principles if she thinks someone is on her side.
Facts. It's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative, what it means is that we become tribal and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong, that we don't discuss things that are horrible on our own side because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways, and that is wrong. So that to me is the exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose things when they are bad on the right.
In the past, I've had mixed feelings about Owens. I've admired her tenacity, her determination, and her belief in the power of hard work and self-empowerment. However, I disagree with a lot of her takes. I've been suspicious of how well she can separate her personal feelings from getting to the truth, and I've noticed she can often remind me of an attack dog when she gets angry, gripping something, shaking hard, and not letting it go. I think
facts. We've seen that against Steven Crowder. We've seen that against Steven Crowder. One video and Steven Crowder is the worst human being on a planet. He's a monster. There are numerous videos of Andrew Tate, and then all of a sudden there's no evidence, right? The indictment records are online. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that he's guilty. There's no evidence. It's like, what? Huh? They're leaking DMs. Oh, there's no evidence. Literally, Georgiana was ripping off stitches of girls they may get boob jobs as a form of punishment if they don't do what Andrew Tate says. But somehow Andrew Tate is a better representative of Christian values or conservative values versus someone like who's that guy? Steven Crowder's a weirdo, but you know what I mean, right? It's crazy. What's his name? Adam 22, right? Because she said it was despicable that he offered his wife to Andrew Tate, right? Okay, so it's not despicable that the 4 girls who are indicted with him right now are accused of torturing some of these women that were in the house, ripping off stitches. Hell, the Vlad guy that was indicted alongside with them literally got caught because he was beating up the girls. One of the girls because she wouldn't get another tattoo of him. A third tattoo of him on her. And we know all those girls in the Tate mansions, they all were branded by Tate. But that's a guy that represents Christian values? Really, Candace? Really, Candace? Honestly, let's be real.
She's very stubborn, which can be a positive attribute, but not when it blinds you to the possibility that you could be wrong. In short, I disagreed with Candice on a lot, but I did have some respect for her ambition and apparent forthright nature, because I believed on some level that she was honest and believed what she was saying. Respect which, after watching her Tate puff piece, has totally vanished. I no longer think she's honest at all. In fact, I now think the opposite. I think she's one of the most dishonest people in media today.
Well,
and that's really saying something. So this video
club.
I'm doing now isn't really about Andrew Tate. So I'm not so much going to be going into all of the lies that he told in that interview. Lies Candice let him get away with through either extreme lack of preparation or intentional collusion on her part. But if you would like to see how he provably lied many times, I urge you all to go and watch the Apostate Prophet stream on the interview. I will link it down below.
I'm pretty sure Candace Owens was paid by Tate. Like, the more that I'm starting to realize that Tate has his own propaganda team, like the fact that that exists and there are whistleblowers confirming that, oh, hell no. Either Candace Owens was paid by Tate, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Tucker Carlson was also paid by Tate. Like, because this guy's desperate. He's desperate. Like, you could smell it on him, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, because Candace Owens was so different during that interview, it didn't make any sense.
He and David Wood did a brilliant job of going through all of the, well, I don't know about all of them, but many of Andrew Tate's lies in that interview, showing receipts and evidence of how he lied, how he was lying, when he was lying, referring to the court documents and videos of him talking and other kinds of evidence. So they had proof to back that, and they did that really brilliantly. So definitely go and watch that. There's a side note as well, I really like his channel. It's a really, really good channel. So I will just play this short clip that he put together of just one instance that Andrew Tate lied in that interview.
I didn't sell drugs.
So when I was 24, 25, I sold drugs. Long time ago now.
I didn't sell drugs.
To be honest and open about my past. I was a fighter, but fighting wasn't paying the bills, sold drugs, whatever.
I didn't sell drugs.
So I'm selling drugs.
I didn't sell drugs.
I didn't really like selling drugs.
You know what the Tater Tots are gonna say? All of this was AI generated. It's not real. Andrew Tate never said that. It's not real. It's all AI manipulated. Like, listen, there are more of these compilations on the internet, man. Like, Tate's done. Like, it's like people are putting his words versus what he's saying now, okay? And the Tate that we're looking at right now is a different Andrew Tate than the Tate that went before Tate went to prison. Okay, it's over, bro. He's running scared. They got him, dude. Y'all need to start waking up. It's over for this guy.
I didn't sell drugs.
I didn't like the anxiety. I didn't like the idea of getting caught. I didn't like the violence, the stabbing. Someone tried to stab me.
I didn't sell drugs.
The thing is, you can't deny that the man is definitely a liar, whether he lied then or he's lying now. In which case, how can we trust anything that he says?
You got the right audience with me in terms of that. I think the media is the enemy of the American people. Yeah. That is why I liked Trump calling that out right away, talking about fake news.
What I don't understand is why anybody listens to anything they say.
I know it is
because they've been caught lying so many times. Mm-hmm. Is it just because they lie on repeat over and over again to the point where people just accept it? Is it because it's cowardice and accepting that these people constantly lie to you makes you adopt a worldview, which is scary because you have to now think for yourself? I'm not sure what it is, but how after, especially the last 5 to 6 years, can you believe a word these people say to you?
Well, because if they say it enough, it becomes true. And they've been able to show that if you say something over and over again to someone, they will accept it as a truth.
Even Andrew doesn't understand why you'd listen to him. He probably thinks you're an idiot if you do. I mean, that's kind of his pattern of behavior, his MO. He deceives and tricks the women, and then he laughs behind their backs about it, about how stupid they are, how easily they believe him, how he tricks them. He scams the men and then goes and interviews and laughs about how stupid these men are and how he easily tricks them.
So, you know what's funny? You know what's absolutely funny, bro? I'm pretty sure part of the files that was seized from Andrew Tate's were also financial records, right? And listen, dude, y'all are just tripping if you think they don't have nothing on this guy. Y'all are just tripping. It's like if it look how long it's taking for these judges to just pour over all of these evidence. If they, bro, I know for a fact they get you. They gonna get you on tax evasion. They're gonna get you on tax evasion. And listen, I don't know about the listen, because if Georgiana or what's her name? Who's that other girl? The Vivian, right? Vivian was an alleged one that was probably trafficked while she was a minor. So that one might be tough. All right. I don't know if they're gonna get him on trafficking on minors, right? But definitely the whole trafficking as a whole, you being prolific, they got you. That's a done deal. Don't be like, listen, just because you locked down in the city because they moved you from house arrest, you're done. It's over. All right. And listen, those of you guys, again, I gotta say this for the tater tots because some reason y'all are not listening to this. Listen, just listen. We've had this conversation before. All right. Y'all came to me and said the exact same shit when he moved from jail to house arrest. See, he's innocent. That don't mean nothing. They didn't drop the charges. They didn't say this is rubbish, scrapped it. No. In fact, the judges are saying, I need another 60 days to review this. But while we're doing that, let's not keep him locked up under house arrest. Let's just lock him down to the county. And if you even think about it, that even to just get that was a hard-fought appeal by the Tate camp, which you got to give it to them, right? Because the appeal they filed before that, they were getting rejected multiple times. Think about it. If things were so smooth for your papas, all right, why did they have to reject so many appeals until you guys get two small little victories? Like, think about that for a second. Y'all need to wake up, bro. It's like out of the fire into the frying pan. Y'all not seeing this. Rachel, shout out to you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We got another one. We got John with the $5 super chat. John says that's because Stephen falsely accused and shamed the Davey Wilder over a contract. So of course Candace points him out as a monster, but that was her paycheck. Facts. Yeah, if you're getting paid by you call it out, you're a monster, right? But you got indictment records, you got DMs, you got all that stuff leaking. Oh, no, there's no evidence. Where's the evidence? We don't find the evidence. Where is it? You guys are just the Matrix. They're all just trying to prosecute and persecute this man. He's going to jail. Why I keep saying jail? He's already been to jail. He is going to prison. He's going to prison. That's it, what it is. Listen, I'm going to be real with y'all, okay? Because you're thinking, first of all, I find this hilarious. Only not because of Tate's situation, because obviously his situation is not funny. If anything, I take his situation incredibly seriously because trafficking is nothing to joke about, right? But the funny part is how you guys are you're bending backwards and forwards just to freaking cape for this guy. You're taking every little thing that could be looked at as positive into a total acknowledgement of his innocence. And it's not the case. Like, y'all need to wake up. And it's not like people are rooting for people to go to jail. That's crazy. If all of this comes out to be one giant false allegation, or it really is the Matrix coming after him, you best believe I'm gonna be the main one turning around if he can provide evidence, right? He's saying the Matrix is attacking him. He even said there were companies that offered him $60 million so for him to sell his soul. He hasn't provided any evidence of that to prove the existence of a Matrix. If he actually did that, if he provides evidence that we can look at it and say, yo, there's a clear conspiracy against a black man here, let's go ahead and unite, right? I'd be the first one there. But the thing is, he keeps saying he's innocent, but not putting out any proof to refute the allegations or even the evidence that are being dropped against him. So as someone who lives in reality, I have to look at this and say, what do I believe here? The screenshots that we know for a fact were leaked by Dicot, okay? Or this guy who hasn't provided any evidence whatsoever, but is claiming there's a media conspiracy. And on top of that, I'm catching him in multiple lies because he's saying that they're only charging him because he's stealing TikTok accounts. But I have eyes, all right, and I can read, okay? I know I'm dyslexic, but I can still get some things on paper, okay? Listen, I look at the indictment record and I say, oh, they're not charging you for stealing TikTok accounts. So why are you lying? Why are you lying? You're saying the Matrix, right? They're offering you $60 million. Well, where's the evidence? Give us something, but you haven't. You're out here just proclaiming innocent. I'm innocent. Listen. I don't care if you've brainwashed your audience to say, you know what, he's innocent just based off your word, but I'm not like that, okay? We're not like that, bro. We're not like that over here. Some of us need a little bit more than I innocent, and the Matrix is after me for us to believe you, okay? And frankly, all the evidence comes from what they got on you. I'm sorry, bro, but no one is trying to see somebody go to jail if they're innocent. And I want y'all tater tots to understand that. But if we're looking at the actual evidence compared to what this guy is saying, I'm not stupid, bro. Okay, y'all can sit there and believe what you want to believe, but don't drag me down your rabbit hole. I'm gonna stay up here, look down at that hole, and laugh at y'all. I'm not getting sucked into that. You kidding me? Like, y'all look crazy. So no one's trying to see him go to jail, all right, if he's innocent. But he's not helping his case. He's really not, all right? So it is what it is. Listen, I'm not changing my opinion, all right? And my opinion is based off of what we've seen, the facts that are out there. Just because y'all don't know how to read or y'all don't want to read, don't put that on me. He's going to prison. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Matter of fact, if he doesn't flee Romania right now, he's going to prison. He's not going to fight that. His lawyers has already proven to us they're incompetent to even stop him from going on the media and self-snitching some more. So I'm not even confident in his legal team to protect him. He's going to prison. The judges are taking all this time to keep reviewing the evidence. It's not this case drop, throwing it out because there's no evidence. They're taking more time to review the evidence. He's going to prison. I don't care the amount of comments you put under my comment section. And at this point, I don't even believe y'all are real, okay? After the video I watched, I believe there's a lot of tater bots out there, not tater tots. So he's going to prison, okay? So by the time that happens, because we were like, nobody's stressing over this. As a matter of fact, it's good that the government is giving him some kind of freedom, right? But realistically, the charges aren't dropped. Let's look at brass tacks, okay? They didn't drop the charges. If anything, they've been upgraded, all right? And they're staying that way. He's going to prison. If he stays and fights this, it's over. Okay? So miss me with that bullshit. I don't want to hear it, okay? Oh, dude, you're wrong. No. We're not wrong. Smart people are jumping ship. They're already seeing the writing on the wall. He's done. He's going to prison. Like, I don't know what else. And I'm not laughing at his situation. I'm laughing at like the amount of effort these tater tots are going to just defend this guy. He's going to prison, dog. Like, y'all are not even looking at the facts. Like, the one thing y'all should have done is say, okay, he's free, but he's locked down to the county. He can't leave book arrest. Did they drop the charges yet? No. Did they even mention anything about the charges? No. Matter of fact, the only thing that remotely close to the charges is that they need another 60 days to review the evidence. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So let's make his stay comfortable, right? The calm before the storm, okay? It is what it is. He's going to prison. Y'all are just tripping.
I don't understand why you all think you're so special, or the little tater tots, and he's not lying to you and then laughing behind your back about how stupid and naive you are to believe him. For other videos, going through actual evidence and facts, rather than feelings-based puff pieces with nothing of substance of the sort that Tucker and Candice did, Willie Mac Show's recent video on all the evidence against Tate is brilliant. I will also link that down below. And Not So Erudite also did a stream just going through the War Room DM leaks, which was also fantastic. So again, I will link that video as well down below. Why is it that all of these people, the Apostate Prophet, Erudite, and Willie Mac, did a far better, extensively researched job on reporting on the Tate case than
listen, we reacted to Willie Mac. Willie Mac's the G, all right? Apostate Prophet. I've gotten some email recommendations on this channel, so I'm going to check it out. But shout out to you guys. And those of you guys who are sending me emails, I see y'all. I don't know if you want me to say your names or not, so I won't. But shout out to you. I do see it, and we are putting things together. So thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And I will get a Discord. hopefully soon, so that way it's easier to get in contact and we can kind of share things and move along. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of stuff dropping pretty quickly here, and I want to be prepared for this Tate trial because there's gonna be so much evidence dropping so fast that we got to be able to keep up. So yeah, we got to do this. So shout out to you guys.
Huge media companies with God knows how many resources. There's something to be said for being independent and not attached to a particular ideology. As far as I know, all the people I named are independent, not strongly affiliated with either the right or the left, and they do a good job of referring to the facts rather than what they want to be true to support their team. The same can be said as well for Abbott and Preach and Destiny. I know Destiny is political, but from what I've seen, he's also very good at being unbiased and calling out his own side. All of those people that I named have done a far better, more honest and unbiased job on the Tate situation than any big media company that I've seen. And yes, that includes the Daily Wire. So please watch those videos linked down below, particularly Apostate Prophet's video if you want proof that Andrew Tate lied many times in that Candice interview. I won't so much be doing that because you guys already know how I feel about him. He's behaved exactly as expected, so it's not a shock to me. This video will mainly be focusing on Candice and her hypocrisy and dishonesty, because the extent of it, yours actually quite shocking.
Listen, I've been waiting for somebody to flame her up. I've been waiting for somebody to flame her up, bro. Because like Candice needs this. Like she absolutely needs this because it's a high time people recognize she is not a real conservative, bro. Like she's not real. She's not, and I don't even know what this lady's politics are. So I really don't care because I'm not really political myself. I don't belong to a side. I hate choosing sides. I like thinking for myself. Thank you. Okay, but listen. For some of y'all to just accept Candace Owens as a conservative, Jesus, man, what are we doing? Like, what are we honestly doing? She is fake as all hell, bro. She's criticizing women who are going out there and making careers out of themselves. Meanwhile, she's out here as a career woman. Why aren't you with your kids? Right? You're sitting there going at Cardi B, going at all these other women who are out there making money and also being mothers, right? And who are also married, saying they're being society and being degenerate to society and whatnot. But here we got you, a career woman who's got a child at home, a husband, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on with your husband. All right, maybe he plays for the team, maybe he plays for the away team or the home team. We don't know what team your husband's playing for. We're gonna figure that out. All right, so maybe that's why you're running away from home, trying to be a career woman. I just don't understand why you, a woman in the same boat, are criticizing other women who are doing it. Like clearly, if anything, we should get on you. Like. You're a mother. Why aren't you staying at home? Why are you over here? Why are you in the media? Why? First of all, it seems like you too hard-headed. Why you talking back? All that back talk, girl, that's not traditional, okay? A woman is supposed to be seen, not heard, right? That's according to the conservative tenets, right? So why are you on the Daily Wire? You got multi-million-dollar contract. She's a hypocrite. She's a liberal woman at heart masquerading as a conservative. It is what it is. And there's a bunch of bozos out there that are going to believe him or her, all right? Just like there's a lot of bozos out there that are believing that Andrew Tate's a real Muslim. I mean, come the fuck on, guys. Antonio Winchong, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, sup, dude, Coach Red Pill is running away to Hungary to escape Ukrainian prosecution. And also, a bunch of Russian gangsters beat him up in prison. Yeah, that's what happens. If they find out you got money in one of these Eastern European prisons, bro, they will extort you. Now, see, Andrew Tate's a little bit different because he's part of the mafia and the criminal enterprise there. So he probably knows a person that knows a guy. But yeah, Coach Red Pill did the right thing. And I think Andrew Tate's probably going to look at Coach Red Pill's strategy and probably follow it, because the moment they let Coach Red Pill out on bail, he was in prison for months. We had no idea what happened to him. We don't know where he went. We didn't know he was still alive. The moment they let him go, he ran to the border, and we haven't heard from him since, because he said if he stays in the country, he's going to be found guilty. And hands down, they're going to find him guilty in Ukraine, right? Romania is next to Ukraine, and Andrew Tate is facing a more serious crime than Coach Red Pill. He's now been out on city arrest or county arrest, whatever you want to call it, right? He's not allowed to leave the city. He has the resources just like Gonzalo, because Gonzalo's a multimillionaire. So people don't know that because he looks like a bum on camera, but Gonzalo got money. He's not a brokey. He's got money. All right. So Tate got money. but he likes to flash it all around. So we don't know how much left he got, but he has the potential to flee the city. And I think realistically for you tater tots out there, and I'm just being real, if you want your Tate to not see the inside of a prison cell, he needs to run. He needs to book it out of Romania. All right. And I'm sure they're probably thinking of a plan to do that right now. You think the lawyers are stupid? No, I'm pretty sure they're. And here's the thing: if he gets caught trying to book it, it's over. It's back to jail. All right, because you heard the conditions of the bail release, right? They're saying, hey, listen, if you leave the city or any unauthorized use, we're going to haul you back to house arrest or preventative arrest, right? What does that mean? You're going back to jail. You're going back to jail. So if Andrew Tate gets caught, and the thing is, this is a big dilemma that his team has to, try to deliberate amongst themselves, right? So they have to think, okay, are we going to escape? And if we get caught, know for a fact we're going back to jail, or are we going to stay and fight this with a higher chance that we're probably going to get convicted, right? Because if he stays, he's going to get convicted. I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you, tater tots. He's going to get convicted. If he runs, but he gets caught, he's going to get convicted. So it's a real dilemma right now that they got to look at. But y'all are thinking he's innocent. Y'all are thinking he's free. It's not true. It's not true. He's the indictments they haven't been dropped. They haven't been lowered. In fact, they've been increased. It is what it is. It went from 10 years to 13 years. All right, just like that. In a span of a month, he went from trafficking, which is up to 10 years, to trafficking in continued form, which is 13 years, and that's just on a trafficking charge. We're not even talking about tax evasion. I don't know what they're going to charge you for tax evasion, but they're looking at it, right? Wake up, guys. just wake up. Shout out to you for the super chat, by the way. I kind of went in on that one.
I should also mention, I think Brittany Venti is someone else who's been calling out Andrew Tate for a very long time. I think she did a couple of streams back a few months ago as she was going through the evidence. So again, that's worth mentioning her as well. So just to say, before we get into the video, after the Apostate Prophet's video live stream on breaking down the Candace Owens Andrew Tate interview and all the many lies told by both parties, really, she blocked him on Twitter. She blocked the Apostate Prophet on Twitter, which shows that she knows about the criticism of her dishonesty. She just doesn't care and doesn't want to correct it. And the Apostate Prophet, he wasn't awful to her in the video. He just went through the facts and proved all the times that either she or Tate lied or were dishonest or hid the truth. And like a coward, she blocked him and hasn't issued any corrections. And this was what he posted on YouTube. And there it is. This is my clear confirmation that she is not ignorant. She's a grifter, a liar, an ally of Tate, and a complicit supporter of sex trafficking. Tate is conservative. And he linked his stream, and I urge you all please to go and watch.
Because Candace Owens, they're labeling her an ally of sex trafficking. Who can blame them? Who can blame them? After that abysmal interview with Andrew Tate, he might as well be. Listen, when he get that guilty charge, you might as well be, bro. Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, these are the arguments that are going to be used against the conservatives that were grifting off of Andrew Tate. Y'all going to see that right now. They're going to be like, yeah, y'all are agents of trafficking. Y'all support trafficking. You're going to see all of those allegations being dropped on a lot of these conservatives, right? And it's just crazy to just see this unfold.
Watch that, because they did a really good job of just provably, I just don't know how, just proving all the lies with evidence, of which Candice brought no evidence, but somehow she thinks that she's right. As I said, I've never particularly been a fan of Candace Owens, but I didn't believe she was a grifter, like people accused her. I thought, sure, she's a bit extreme and annoying sometimes, but I think she probably believes what she says, and she probably genuinely wants to help people. And then a couple of months ago, I came across 2 of her videos that really made me reconsider that. They made me think, maybe she's not so honest after all. Maybe she is only saying what she thinks will appeal to her conservative audience. So what shocked me about these 2 videos was that they were released on the same day. On the same day. Won't you remember that? And they were so contradictory that her brazen hypocrisy was shocking to me. So the first video is a rant about how the actress Zendaya is sending a message that it's uncool not to be able to cook. That Zendaya is making young women aspire to be, quote, utterly helpless. This is all Candice says, what she says in this rant. that Zendaya is making motherhood and traditional femininity look uncool, that she's pushing young women to be pathetic and lazy and useless. Quoting Candace Owens here, women think being hopeless and helpless is cute. So you hear all that and you think, wow, that all sounds pretty bad. So with this damning judgment on all the reasons that Zendaya is ruining the world and making modern women useless and inspiring laziness and degrading society and helping tear apart the nuclear family, you must all be thinking, wow, what Zendaya said must be pretty extreme.
What did she say?
She must have
We'll
really
find
said
out.
something awful about stay-at-home mothers or traditional women. She must really have been acting entitled or lazy and or being a brat. She must have been really making a statement about how being useless or rejecting femininity is empowering and something to be proud of. Yeah, so let's play the clip that set Candace off, shall we?
You guys gotta teach me something because I do not know how to cook. How about that? Although I learned a little dish the other day, a little pasta dish, and I really didn't have much in my fridge at all. And we made pasta, but we made it with like this avocado sauce, and it was like super easy, minimal ingredients, and it was freaking delicious. So I highly recommend that recipe. Thank you, Google. And it made me feel like I could cook because it was so easy.
Yes, that's it.
Wow, Candace. Wow. So that video is an example of how Zendaya is promoting what? Oh my God, y'all conservatives are crazy. Well, she didn't even say nothing in the video that was promoting anti-traditional values. What is wrong with you, Candace? Oh. So Zendaya can have this video basically just talking about freaking not knowing how to cook and things like that and cooking recipes only from Google. And then here you are interviewing Andrew Tate, and all of a sudden the guy who has numerous videos basically admitting that he's a bad guy. Zendaya's a monster. Andrew Tate's a good guy. This is crazy. I can't believe it. KS, shout out to you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Where have you been? Shout out to you. He says, how's life going, dude? I'm good. I am good. He says, I'm studying automotive. What are you doing? Like what branch of automotive? Let me know. That's what's up. In my class, they talk about Tate. With Tate and the limelight, he might not listen to lawyers. Nah, he's not going to listen to any of his lawyers. The only thing Tate's lawyers are capable of doing right now is filing appeals. That's it. That's what they've been relegated to, because a lot of them don't even know the full extent of what the prosecutors are going to bring, right? So if they don't know the fullest extent of what the prosecutors are going to bring, well, guess what? The lawyers are just going to be saying, well, the best thing we can do is try to get the Tates more comfortable, right? So let's get you from jail to house arrest, from house to arrest. Now you're locked down to the city, all right? And then afterwards, whatever Tate decides to do, that's beyond them, right? But it is what it is. But yeah, he's not going to listen to his lawyers. He can't, right? This is the big, because he knows, listen, someone who's innocent, right? Yeah, you go off and you can say certain things, but one thing you're not going to do is sit there and blame a matrix system, right? You're not going to do that. You're not going to blame the matrix. And second of all, if there are allegations that were leaked that weren't true, you would have proper counter evidence to put it to rest. But we haven't seen that from any of the Tate camp. We haven't seen that from his lawyers. His lawyers aren't even speaking. His lawyer, the lawyer statements, if you read all the lawyer statements up until this point, they're basically just saying, hey, this is good news if good things happen, or if the appeal gets denied, we'll try again. It's basically run-of-the-mill generic shit. It's not the lawyers that are talking, and they're smart for not doing that. It's him. He's the one making it worse for himself. And I don't feel bad for it at all, because it's like, dude, shut up. If you're innocent, let your lawyers do the work. But he knows he's going to get found guilty. So why not spend the little time you have right now to whip up a media frenzy, so at least at some point when you do get out of jail or prison, all right, there's enough positive clout, because most people have forgotten by that time, for you to start regaining whatever you lost, right? And that's it. His only play is the media game. And to me, once you start playing the media game and not actually going after the evidence, that to me tells me you got no other play. You got no other play. He's going to jail. Mackenzie, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Mackenzie say Tate has been embellished to create a mythical figure. Exactly. For the right wingers and incels to live by. Shout out to Pearl. Well, Pearl, yeah, Pearl's the big one out there. But yeah, that's what they need. What do you call a martyr? And Tate wants to go down as a martyr, right? Because we already proved, especially now, that Candace Owens not going to do no research. Tucker Carlson's not going to do a research. The right wings aren't going to do any research whatsoever, right? So they're going to listen to Tate's half-baked argument about how this is a political hit job, a political a persecution, right? Because they're just the Romanians authorities are trying to get rid of him. It's like, bro, that's not true. If anything, if we're comparing you to Gonzalo Lira, all right, Gonzalo Lira, they got him for political means. He was commenting on the war in Ukraine, okay, and they didn't like what he had to say, so they accused him, right? And they locked him in jail where gangsters were beating him up. You, on the other hand, your indictment papers say you have been trafficking women, and they potentially have been trafficking minors as well, and there are other people who are connected to you. You're trying to make it seem like it's a political thing. It's not a political thing, Tate. You are being charged for a criminal thing. There's evidence that you did a criminal act. There are numerous things online that you've stated that proves that. They have links from TikTok to your Bitcoin to the accounts of OnlyFans. They got text messages linking you to these girls. They got everything. This isn't political. You're not. No one cares about your shit. I doubt. Listen, Romania. I doubt they'll care. You don't even talk about the war in Romania like that. So let's not war in Romania, war in Ukraine like that. You know, I haven't seen a good take come from Andrew Tate about the war in Ukraine. Okay, so the Romanian government couldn't possibly be persecuting Tate for that. All right, it's what you're saying about depression and COVID. Do you think Romania honestly gives a shit about that? This is an ex-Soviet country. You think they care about what the SJW shit the West gives a shit about? Do you honestly think that? Even though they're part of the West, they're not. Romanians are tough people. They don't give a fuck. All the SJW shit you're trying to make it about that, it's not about that, Tate. It's about you doing trafficking and them trying to clean up their image of being known for trafficking.
That's it. That shocking, appalling, degenerate clip that I don't even know how it's allowed to air on YouTube. It's probably making your eyes bleed. I mean, that is the reason that Zendaya is making it look cute for women to reject family life and become helpless and lazy.
That's crazy.
Apparently, according to Candace Owens. Can someone please give me a reason how that kind of moral outrage over nothing is any different to what extreme leftists do when they take an innocuous comment and paint someone out to be a terrible person by interpreting it in the worst faith possible? This is why conservatives get accused of pearl clutching. You're no less of a snowflake or triggered, Candice. The target of who you're directing it at, however, just happens to be different. Zendaya was not acting like it was cool not to cook. Most of the clip, Candice, was taken up with her talking about a recipe that she recently learned.
Right.
How scummy and bad faith do you have to be to interpret it in the way that you did? You know what that was from Zendaya? A self-deprecating comment as she complimented someone else's cooking. I actually read it as her being polite. You married an Englishman, Candice. You should be very familiar with self-deprecation as a form of social connection. She literally says in that as well, teach me how to cook. I see it as a humble offhand remark. Zendaya is not a mother talking about how she doesn't need to care for her children or cook. LOL, #modern women life. Zendaya is a 26-year-old Hollywood star with a very impressive career. Is it the end of the world that she's not a good cook?
It's what these conservatives like to do. They like to pick and choose, right? From society that they think is going towards liberating women and women doing all these things. They paint that as a bad thing. Meanwhile, it's okay to make exceptions for Candace Owens, though, who literally is the exact type of woman that y'all are complaining about. Like, she's a free, independent woman. Yeah, she's a mother, but she's not around her kids when she's out here freaking on the Daily Wire getting these millions of dollars worth of contracts, right? I mean, she's living like a pretty much independent woman. So that should tell you something, Okay, it should be honest, all right? It's not, she's bringing home the bacon too. So if she can do it as a mother, and if it's okay for her, I'm pretty sure when Zendaya gets of age, when she wants to have a baby, all right, she's not gonna have a problem getting some dude to propose to her. Matter of fact, most women out here not gonna have problems getting some dude to propose to them. Realistically, it's y'all who are complaining about this bullshit that shouldn't even be what we should be complaining about to begin with. It's just crazy that like a lot of these conservatives do this nonsense, and it's starting to get really annoying.
No! What's even your point here, Candice? That Zendaya is wasting time being a Hollywood star and should focus more on learning to cook? Why? That's not even good advice for her. That's actually terrible advice for her. I think she invested her time wisely in learning the skills that she did because it paid off. She clearly invested a lot of time in her career in acting and learning how to be a good actress. And that's definitely paid off at this point. I think it would have been a waste of her time. She'd spent that, in my opinion, spent a huge amount of that time learning to cook. She's still young. She's 26. It's ridiculous to make a big deal out of this.
And one thing I gotta say, acting is hard, bro. It's tough. Like I had a small part in the play once, bro. And like the amount of takes you have to do saying the same thing, if you don't say your lines right, bro, it's exhausting. That shit gets fucking exhausting, bro. It's like, damn, it's not like what I thought in the movies. I thought it'd be easy. Nah. And sometimes it's just there's a lot of stuff. So like, yeah, she's working. Let her work. Let her do her shit. Just like I would say it's probably tough to do a job like well, maybe not. Nah, Candace Owens' job is not hard at all. Just going up there and spewing lies, it's not that hard. All right, but maybe she might think her life's hard or whatever the hell it is. Who are we to judge how people decide to live their lives? All right. And so if it works for them, let it work for them. Let them utilize the freedom that's affording them to do whatever. All right. If you want conservative women, all right, to be in the kitchen and doing all the stuff and whatnot, there are plenty of them out there. I don't know why y'all trying to force everybody to follow an agenda. It seems like y'all is trying to counter the left's agenda with your agenda. So from my perspective, I see both y'all have agendas you want to impose on society that's currently not the right model right now. We're not going back to the past. The economy isn't built for that. All right, we need two incomes now. Sorry, not sorry. For most average people out there, let them go work. And if they hit it big like Zendaya, shit, go ahead, do your thing. Listen, bro, like, you give me an opportunity to be a millionaire actor, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Who wouldn't take that, right? It don't matter. You got $1 million plus dollars, make a career out of yourself. Most people would take that job. She's lucky. Let her have that. Jeez. And some of these conservatives, man, I swear to God, everything's ruining society. But Candace Owens giving a total flop piece to Andrew Tate, that's all well accepted. Come on, who we trying to fool here?
Do you know how to cook in your 20s, Candice, back when you were a liberal queen? This is just so silly. Zendaya made no degrading comments about housewives or women who like cooking. She was complimenting the cooking. Not every woman's life path needs to be settling down and being a trad housewife from your early 20s. That wasn't even your life path, Candice. You didn't settle down and have children till later. It's perfectly possible that Zendaya could do the same. To suggest as well that Zendaya is this symbol of being a helpless woman is also just really insulting and blatantly untrue. Zendaya is literally not reliant on anyone, and her stellar career proves how hardworking and capable she is. But because she's not a good cook, she's making women utterly helpless somehow. Are you okay? You do realise that when she says she can't cook, she's just saying that she's not a very good one. But clearly she's capable of following a recipe, as she herself said. She's smart and competent. I think she'll be fine. When she needs to do it, she'll figure it out. Candace's rant where she implies that Zendaya is making it look glamorous to be helpless and not be able to cook. That is such a silly bad faith interpretation of that clip. If anything, again, she's complimenting the cooking and saying she needs to learn more and talking about how she learned a recipe. How, if anything, isn't she making it glamorous to learn how to cook? She was talking about how she made this really good recipe and So obviously this is a very bad take from Candice, even taken on its own. But what really makes it terrible is that on the very same day, she released a video defending Andrew Tate and falsely claiming that they had no evidence against him, something she would have realised is a lie if she'd bothered doing even 5 minutes of research.
The thing is, you're not just talking to Candace Owens, right? You got to talk to the tater tots too. They don't do research. Tater Tots don't do any research. Matter of fact, a lot of these conspiracy guys, this is what I'm saying. Conspiracy guys, they're stupid. They're stupid because none of them do research, okay? They take what hearsay, all right, and it seems like it's deep information, and it's really not. So they run with it thinking they're smarter than everybody else. They're not smart. They don't do the research. They just start making connections that aren't really there, all right? They'll take one research here that has nothing to do with the other, but try to link it to the other thing to make it seem like there's this grand conspiracy. And if you actually think about it, it's kind of part of the human condition, because a lot of human beings, especially the scared ones who don't really like freedom like that, they like to think of this grand conspiracy that's out there, right? That guides everything, like this hidden hand that's moving things. And then, like, a lot of times there's special interest groups, don't get me wrong, and a lot of them will fight each other for power, but it's not this overarching hand that is trying to, manipulate society in one direction. It doesn't work that way. There's just too many people, and people are variables. They can act in either which way. We even got the internet. We got freaking doctors and surgeons who are risking their careers just because they want to vlog their surgeries on TikTok. Okay, people will tattletale. They don't care. If it means clout, they would do it. Everybody wants that 15 minutes of fame. So you mean to tell me if there was this massive conspiracy that's going to involve millions of people connected in some way, you're going to tell me out of that, not one person is going to slip up? Give me a goddamn break, okay? It's not like that. You got tight-knit special interest groups, okay? And I'm not going to deny that's out there. That's a real thing, okay? And some of those special interest groups have significant stake in politics and power, and they move around. But does that mean that there's this massive hand and cabal that's moving everything, and it has to do with the Jews somehow? No, it's not the case. A lot of times, if you think about it, it's kind of like the mob, right? Think about it. What's the difference between a politician and a gangster? There isn't one. It's just one creates laws to justify their illegal bullshit, while the other ones stay underground. That's it. All right. A lot of these politicians, they're basically gangsters. Okay. No matter what country. Okay. So they're gonna make laws, they're gonna do certain things. It is what it is. But like to sit there and say, there's this grand conspiracy. No, these gangsters who we call politicians will be fighting each other based on what special interest group is funding their campaigns. That's it. So if someone's positive for one thing, boom, they're not for it. Matter of fact, the only time we see those guys come together is when they're screwing you over. Think about it. Republican or Democrat, when they all come together and say, yes, this is a good idea, right? And come to find out, you're on the other side of the table. You're not the one eating. Matter of fact, that means that deal, you're not getting the scraps. So just wake the fuck up, bro. Like, a lot of these guys, it's just self-interest moving about circles. All right, Andrew Tate, he's part of that cabal. He got big enough to the point where he actually has his own propaganda campaign. He has his own team. Listen, bro, if you're out there telling the truth, okay, look at what's one of, can somebody give me a major trial that went on? What's that one with the Pirates of the Caribbean dude, right? Give me a major trial that went on in recent time right now, right? Did any one of those people who are on the defensive go on a media circuit proclaiming there's a matrix against them? Some of them, they knew the fact that, you know what, I got enough evidence to prove my innocence. I'm going to just let my lawyers handle it. You didn't hear a peep out of him until trial. But yet this guy, for some reason, the Matrix is after him. But yet he has access to bribe politicians. He has access to massive social media accounts that are filled with nothing but bots to change the narrative. If not outright ban small channels, talk about free speech. They run smear campaigns against other channels that criticize them. He has his own Matrix operation. He's part of the cabal, just like Epstein had his own operation. He had his own cabal, but just like individual cabals rise up, they eventually fall off. Okay, all those rich people that were backing Epstein, they booked it. All these people they're gonna be backing Tate, they're gonna book it. He's done. Like, I don't get it.
This is why Candace thinks that Andrew Tate was arrested, right? Quote, "This is atrocious. You can't simply hold someone in custody," she's talking about. "You can't simply hold someone because you don't like the content of what they put out."
Shout out to Moxie. Facts. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? Did y'all see Johnny Depp going around saying the Matrix is after him? This is a Me Too case, right? This actually had to do with false allegations, right? Did Johnny Depp go around saying, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. They're trying to frame me, I'm innocent. He didn't do that. He didn't host what do you call it, emergency meetings, right, with a shirt off, talking about, let me tell you why I'm innocent, and let me tell you why this is the Matrix of clear attempt to go against me, right? In a Western country, the same Western country Andrew Tate criticizes, there was enough due process, all right? There was enough evidence against Amber Heard, right, that basically won Johnny Depp the case. So there was a guy who knew he was innocent and realized it'd be a waste of time to be doing a press circuit. Let me just let my evidence handle it. See, a lot of these guys, listen, if you just start looking at how real people behave in certain things, okay? A scared rat is the one that's going to run to the media because there's no one else that's going to listen to him, right? Because in the legal system, you're not going to win. But the court of published opinions, yeah, you're going to win because they're a bunch of Hold up, chat. I'm sorry. I love this girl. She's good. I like what she had to say about Andrew Tate. But I think we have to revisit this. This video real quick because I don't think these tater tots understand how big Andrew Tate's propaganda machine stretches. Like this guy. Like realistically, the only thing I would say I take back about the whole Tate situation, so at least you tater tots can have some kind of W. All right. The only thing I would say I would take back is I take back not taking Andrew Tate seriously, right? Because I would have to admit, my biases was I thought he was just another one of these red pill guys like Anton, right? Like some of these guys who would do the whole. I mean, to fair, he did do the fake it till you make it. But all the stuff Tate would brag about, like the mob ties and, having shadow people that can come and stalk you and fuck you up and stuff like that. I thought it was just all fluff, right? I thought it was just all social media shit that he's been saying. But the one thing I do take back was, he's for real. He's real. He does that. He's not lying about that. He's real. So I take that back. He does have the means to do what he alleges he does in those tapes. It's not to just brag about social media. Matter of fact, the one reason I even came to that conclusion where I'm taking it back is okay, maybe this guy's not as big of a joke as I was thinking of him as before, right? He's actually more of a psychopath than anything else. He's crazy. He's a crazy, the joke's on him, but he's crazy, right? It was by looking through the evidence that were coming out. When the evidence started dropping that, they were saying, yeah, the mob ties might be real. I'm like, oh shit. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, yo, what? He actually has mob ties. He wasn't just saying that to be cool amongst the social media nerds out there. It was real. Oh damn! I guess I got to eat that. So there's a lot of things that where I took it for a joke, like with Andrew Tate. Come to find out with the evidence coming out, he's serious. All right, and even with the evidence that are coming out, he's gonna get charged. Or not charged. He's already charged. He's gonna get convicted. All right, it's over. Right, just like I believe the evidence that this guy has real ties to gangsters, and even I believe the evidence now that he has actual ties to bribe politicians. I believe that the evidence is out there. Okay, I also believe he's going to prison because I'm a guy that looks at evidence. Okay, so just so you tater tots are out there, he's a serious guy, but he's seriously going to prison. I don't care. Let's play this because I think you tater tots have to be reminded about the propaganda machine that is Andrew Tate.
It's kind of like the Illuminati, but cooler.
I was both working for Tate and I was inside of the war room. They trusted me.
The war room is the most powerful network on the face of the planet today.
I made the millions, countless millions, and you're basically part of the cult. The cult that is the war room. The war room is collapsing. It's not what it used to be.
Andrew Tate sells his war room as a secret society that makes its members rich and gives them access to the global elite.
The war room is the number one enemy you wouldn't want you coming after you because they will get you. We are that good.
In an exclusive interview, a whistleblower has told the news movement what really goes on inside.
My name is Eli X. Ampa. I am a Duke dropout and former head of sales and marketing at Tate.
Eli X. Ampa says that Tate is exploiting his fans for money, spreading misinformation, and using the war room to silence critics. A massive leak of data from the war room's private Telegram channel obtained by TNN supports much of what Eli says. Eli worked closely with Tate on his website cobratate.com for 2 years, selling courses and access to the war room.
They'll say anything they want to get what they want from anybody. We have many Twitter employees, we have Instagram employees, TikTok employees. When we want to, we can delete an account. There's actually...
Listen to this. The guy that's talking about Matrix trying to silence him, here's a whistleblower saying whenever we want, we had that power. We can delete your account. And I believe it. I believe it. Because Myron, Fresh and Fit, they do that. Myron and them, listen, they hire people who go in, they'll clone your account, right? And then they'll have it staffed with a bunch of bots. And then they'll report your account to Instagram saying that you're a fraud. And then they'll get your account taken down. And then the onus is on you to prove to Instagram that you're the real account and the fake one is a bot. Myron was doing this, right? When he was out here going around talking about everyone's trying to silence me. He was doing that to other accounts. He even did that to Allende, right? So I actually believe that these guys have networks where they can go in and take you down, right? If they don't like the shit that you're saying about them, if you're a small enough account where no one's gonna notice and no one's gonna care, they'll go ahead and ban you, right? And it's unfortunate, but if you're a bigger account, watch the strategy that they do. It's
Quite
crazy.
a few members who put in excess of $250,000 towards these courses, towards these events. I didn't fully believe in all of the things that the war room had to teach, had to offer.
But first, who is Eli and how did he get involved with Andrew Tate?
All right. Well, so COVID happened around 2020. Everybody got sent home from college in America. So I went back to Canada, and I started searching up people, starting into managerial relative space, etc., etc. Then I found Tate, consumed all his videos, and I spent some of my last money to join the war room, and that was it. I just thought he's the truth, he's the G, and he was sort of like an aspirational figure for what I believe was a good ideal to be like. It wasn't expensive back then. The war room was about like $1,400, $1,500 US, something like that.
How much does it cost now to join?
$7,979 USD. So it's gone up quite a bit, yeah. At the start, I thought it was amazing.
$8,000. $8,000 to join the war room. Half of y'all in the chat right now that are being tater bots, y'all don't got that money. I can tell. Y'all don't got that money. You don't got it. A 23-year-old, $8,000. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. It's a scam.
It's like, wow, all of this knowledge, all this information, I'm learning about mindset, I'm learning about all this stuff. And I mean, I'm 20 years old. I've had no other online experiences and stuff. I'm very, very impressionable. So I took basically everything that said as gospel at the beginning.
Eli was 20. He spent all of his money to join the war room. It's essentially a bunch of Telegram channels where Tate fans can connect, discuss their interests, and have a direct channel to their hero. But Eli says it's a cult.
It's a gradual process. It's not overnight where someone becomes indoctrinated into the cult that is the war room. It's a slow process. And it comes like a thief at night. You don't even notice it. Next thing you know, you're going to all the events and you're basically part of the cult.
You would describe the war room as a cult?
It's what they've called themselves in some of the events, some of the meetings.
The war room is a private network. That's the most I could say. Kind of imagine the Freemasons of old.
Cult, I would say it's a negative word because that means it removes your individuality, removes your humanity. It means you're part of a cohort in which you have no say in the way things are going and there's agenda, and you're no longer human. You are part of a machine. And I don't think that's the right way that humans should live.
You describe your journey to working for Cobra Tate as through the war room.
Yes.
Was that similar to other people who you, like your colleagues, for instance?
Almost, I'd say about 98% of all people who work for Tate are also inside the war room or have gone through the war room first, and they were vetted as to what kind of individual they were before they were hired. Very rarely we hire anybody outside because we just don't need to. So I got hired in July 2021. It was mostly online, me and back and forth. Most of my communication was me and Luke. He runs everything. He'll run the video team. He'll
So he's got receipts.
oversee the marketing team. He'll oversee the sales team, managers of that.
But he also had access to Tate and his brother, Tristan.
Also, there's some group chats with Tate as well.
He's got, look at him. That's him right there. He's got receipts, bro. And the thing is, most people would say, like, you can't get that close within Tate if you're in this network. It takes a lot of time, and you got to spend a lot of money to get to this proximity to Tate. Like, it's not that easy, bro. So he's got receipts.
Tristan less so. Tristan does other things. He's not so involved in the operation as Tate and Luke is.
You had access to the Twitter.
I did, yes. I would respond to DMs from people and sell them on things.
So your job was to try and get more and more people to sign up to
Hustlers University and the war room, absolutely.
Would you be supervised when you were using that?
No, they trusted me.
Eli knows Tate's online sales strategy from the inside.
Tate is a figure which you see and you're like, wow, he's a top G, he's a good guy, he's 4-time kickboxing world champion, blah, blah, blah. Surely he gets the best girls. He tells you, yes, you can become like me. I was poor.
Look at who he's fighting, bro. Look at this guy. He's like swinging for the fences, no guard whatsoever. Anybody can knock him out. Look at this guy. Ah, man. Yeah.
I was out of shape. I was all of these things. And then I became this through sheer hard work and effort. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's very viable. Let's follow Tate. And it's kind of hard. You can't really beat a Bugatti. Not many people have a Bugatti. That's like $5 million. You can't beat kickboxing world champions. So like, okay, I am forever inferior to Tate because these are the metrics that I value and I hold are important. So you're forever in this complex where you're inferior to Tate and you're always learning from him. You're always in a subservient role in that you need him. He makes you dependent on him because who else but the top G, right?
So would you describe the way in which you were marketing Tate's product as kind of preying on male insecurities about getting girls?
Absolutely. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. I think a lot of men are looking for that content and they fall deeper and deeper into the Tate propaganda machine, and that's just how it goes, right? That's how we designed it.
It costs almost $8,000 to get into the war room. But for many members, the huge sum spending doesn't end there.
So you join the war room, you pay a set price. And then there are events, and they make a lot of money off the back end of the events. If you speak to a salesman, they'll be like, the war room's complete. You don't need to pay anything. There's no obligation to buy anything on the side. And technically, there is no obligation.
So the war room offers members other courses which cost even more money. And the leaked chats we've got hold of back this up. The operator course, for instance, is offered for £2,000 a head. And it's claimed to have had 300 plus graduates. So that's 600 grand in income.
And the margins are actually really, really huge because some of the events maybe cost $500, maybe $1,000 per head to run it, and they'll charge you $12,000, $18,000 on the back end. So times that by like 40 or 50 people, loads of money to be made.
These courses are marketed by other high-ranking members of the war room. Why? Eli says that half the money is given to Tate and the rest is divided between the leadership. And we're talking about some large figures.
There is actually quite a few members who put in excess of $250,000 towards these courses, towards these events, which is a lot of money. The best customers in marketing are repeat customers.
Eli makes wild claims that the war room can influence social media companies to control the narrative around Tate. They even use botnets, he says.
We have many Twitter employees, we have Instagram employees, TikTok employees. When we want to, we can delete an account. But our preferred method of choice, because deleting is kind of harsh. For small accounts, we can just mark them and that's it, and nobody really cares. But for bigger accounts, we use a thing called PR marketing campaigns and narrative control, meaning that we have big accounts that side with us. We have many smaller, real-looking, human-like accounts.
So if you tweet
smaller, real-looking, human-like accounts, they're y'all are bots. I don't even know which one of y'all are real. Y'all in the chat, so y'all tater tots in the chat. I don't even know y'all are real. Y'all could be part of this network. We don't know, and we know that Twitter is known for that. We know YouTube is known for that. I don't know if y'all are actually real or if you're bots. I don't know anymore. That's what I'm saying. I might be in the Matrix now. Because, who knows? Because, I know, because obviously botnets exist. They're all, Facebook is known for that shit. It's all over the place, right? But at least I honestly thought a good amount of, the people who are caping for Tate, I thought they'd be real. But they're just Twitter accounts with realistically real, human beings following them. Yo, this is crazy. How many people who's being attacked by the Matrix has a botnet or have access to botnets? I don't even know if y'all are real. Y'all could be fake, bro. Hey, Candace, shout out to you. Says automotive concerning cars. Facts. Shout out to you. I appreciate it, man. What is let me know what your focus is. And you're gonna be working on like diesel. Oh, you said cars. Never mind. Shout out to you. That's good. That's really good. A lot of money to be made in automotive, man. We need more blue collar working guys out there. But damn, y'all got bots for real.
Tweet something against Tate online. Both big accounts with ties to the war room and smaller bot accounts will challenge you with a pro-Tate narrative.
Whatever the perceived attack is on the Tate brand, that the marketing, the post, the tweet, the thread, whatever is purporting, we counter that with our Tate bots. We get big accounts to slander the person that's making that thread or that tweet or that post. I wasn't personally involved in those PR campaigns. We had another department handling that, but I definitely was aware of everything. Yeah.
Damn. These out here just slander you. That's it. They'll just start slandering you. Yo. how do I know that these Tate fans aren't bots, dude? Chat, I'm actually dead ass. I'm serious. How do I know who's real? Because some of them always use these anime accounts with these avatars, bro. Right? It's always these accounts with avatars. You'll see them in there, and they're just saying the craziest shit, right? And it's like, what is going? I don't know, Chad. I don't know what's real anymore, but I know these things exist, especially on social media, right? I know certain governments use this shit too, right? Especially Facebook. They got the was it Cambridge Analytica, right? They got busted for that shit.
Eli claims that the War Room's efforts to silence Tate's critics isn't just online. In one case, he says he was involved in threatening a Twitter user by sending men to his doorstep.
And Tate's spoken about a similar case in 2020.
Felt it because people turned up at his door. Once I had his address, I started putting, I didn't want to get banned from Twitter. Obviously, it happened in the end anyway.
Yeah.
But at first, I put his street name, then I put his house number. And then when guys turned up at his house, when he looked out the window and saw the SUV, then he starts apologizing on the internet like a little bitch. And
Chat, when I saw this interview, I thought Tate was lying. I thought he was just coping for Richard Cooper, right? Because this is all, a lot of these guys do this shit when they do the red pill circuit. I thought he was lying. I had no idea that was actually real until dude just dropped the DMs. I had no idea. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, part of me did like would think like some of the shit that Tate was saying was all bullshit. But then when you look at the evidence that's coming out now, it's like, oh, he was for real when he was saying this. He was actually sending people over to people's houses to intimidate them. Holy fuck. Like, that's crazy.
it wasn't even hard for me to do. Richard, all I did was I sent some messages to a few private groups I'm in. I said, look, cash prize, this guy needs to pay.
He says that's not the only time a War Room member has threatened to send men to someone's house, which, if true, is pretty mad.
And also another thing you have to understand about Tate, he doesn't work on contracts. He doesn't work on NDAs, doesn't work on all this stuff. He works on handshakes, brotherhood, mutual trust, and respect. Friendship.
You're kind of blowing the lid in a way and showing people
Sure.
behind the curtain how the Tate machine works. Why now?
I was part of the War Room and Covert Tate team working. I quit Covert Tate team and we left amicably. I didn't fully believe in all of the things that the War Room had to teach, had to offer. So I go inside of the rooms and I start reading the chats and I see really, really misleading advice from some of the members inside, especially leadership. So I go and counter it, and I counter it in a way where I kind of make them look silly, to be honest. Like I go in better, so then these guys kick me out, and I guess that was it, right? I got kicked out. I reached out to Luke and I asked him, what's the reason for why I was kicked out of the War Room? This is very, very unfair. And he told me I was acting in bad faith. How could I be acting in bad faith? I made the millions, countless millions, and I got paid. I'm not going to give you the exact amount, but less than $500,000 over 2 years.
Eli says he was betrayed by the Tates. He was kicked out for arguing with leadership on tactics to pick up young women, specifically virgins or girls with low body counts. Eli claims that this hetero male concern of how to pick up young, sexually inexperienced girls is a major selling point in the manosphere.
Virgins were always coveted throughout history. I don't think it's a wrong thing. As long as you operate within the legal constraints of what is legal in your country, then I don't think there's anything wrong with desiring that.
This kind of idea of like younger women, for instance, that they have less experience, so there's less complication. Isn't that potentially suggesting that you would be able, in a way, to kind of program a woman because they're inexperienced?
With great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Andrew Tate is currently facing charges of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group in Romania, which he denies. This criminal case is related to his previous business in webcam pornography. And the War Room leaks show that many members are pursuing businesses in webcam pornography.
Do you know much about Tate's experience in the webcam porn business? Was that anything you guys ever spoke about?
I won't comment on that.
Leaked chats from the War Room specifically talk a lot about OnlyFans management as a way of making money. Is that right?
Again, I won't touch on that subject.
You don't want to talk?
I won't talk about that, no.
However, Eli did explain to us Tate's PhD course, which was once sold on cobratate.com.
It's cobratate.com, and I've got a course on there that basically explains how I got girls to work for me.
Damn, he got the president of Manosphere in the shop too. Hey, this ain't looking good. This ain't looking good for any of y'all. God damn. How thirsty were y'all for an Andrew Tate interview? And all y'all who are claiming to have conservative values who are willingly platforming this loser. Jesus Christ. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, all of y'all are complicit in this. Every single one of you red pillars, all right, talking about conservative value. Y'all are all complicit in this guy's nonsense. His rise to fame, y'all are responsible for that. While y'all sitting there talking about the left is destroying society, while y'all are platforming traffickers. All your faces are plastered now. You can't run away from this. You can't run from this.
PhD, right? It's a PhD course, pimping hoes degree.
Eli says that the PhD teaches men how to manipulate women into doing whatever they want, and that the war room encourages it.
Basically, the PhD method is you will sleep with a woman and then you will ignore her and then she will come and beg for your attention. You put a woman into a cycle of Pavlovian conditioning to where you give her less attention and she gives you more sex, and she also gives you more servitude in terms of her doing things for you, whether that's cooking for you, cleaning for you, or eventually, as you said, doing OnlyFans webcam. So she fully depends on you and she has no autonomy of her own. You manipulate her into being your slave, perhaps, quote unquote, and then she will do anything for you. And that's a PhD successfully executed. And then you would post it up inside the war room and you get loads of applause and stuff, versus doing the right thing, which is have a wholesome relationship with her based on trust and respect, which I think is the correct way of doing things.
Leaked chats from the War Room's private PhD chat room, now obtained by TNM, show Tate teaching other War Room members how he gets girls to webcam for him. Tate encourages his students to isolate girls and lie to them to create dependency. He also claims he uses other women who are part of his webcam team to convince new girls to work for him. These leaks have allegedly been passed on to Romanian authorities in the criminal investigation. They've also been sent to lawyers who are pursuing a separate civil case against Tate for allegations of rape and sexual assault by 4 women in the UK.
Wow, couldn't even. Okay, yeah. Well, there are multiple people associated with Tate, and they work as affiliates. Well, of course, you get them from your War Room program, so their whole job is to be affiliated with you and sell shit for you. That's it. So no matter however many you partnered with, he was there and he's got receipts. Where do you think a lot of these War Room DM leaks are coming from? Honestly, bro, you think your boat's all sealed up and tight, bro? You got a leak. You got multiple leaks in your boat, bro. And one falls, they're gonna be multiple. They're gonna be more of these drops. So you can sit there and separate yourself from accounts and cancel accounts no matter what. But you got a leak in your boat, and it's gonna be a matter of time before it turns into a fucking shit show. Like, look at this. He's still running his War Room, and realistically, those leaks only prove that Andrew Tate, currently up until now, has been running the webcam business and teaching guys how to be little, pimps online. So when he's telling you, no, I stopped 10 years ago, it's a complete lie. It's all a lie, bro, and y'all are buying this. Dude has an entire. I don't even know if y'all are real, dog. I'm gonna just be real with you on that chat. And ladies, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Ladies says hi, Duke. Just wanted to warn the ladies and men also looking at our SM to see what we like and what we have to scam us too. Be careful. Okay, be careful. Don't get scammed because pretty soon some of these tater tots or tater bots are gonna be sending you guys emails on how to grow your YouTube account. Don't click no links. All right, don't play around with that stuff because these guys don't play. They will shut your shit down, bro. They're not playing around. They're not playing this game. Shout out to you for the super chat, ladies. I appreciate it. A lot of y'all are saying, "Oh, there's no evidence," bro. They got him. There's just too much at this point. This guy, and I think it was a horrible thing for the Romanian authorities to let this guy go under city arrest because if he has first of all, here let me add this to it, right? Because I think if we know because it's already out now, he can bribe politicians and judges. He has the ability to do that, or at least he has access to that. So I won't be surprised if he was able to one of those networks actually pull through for him, right? Would y'all be surprised if one of those networks pulled through and said, yeah, you know what? let's let the appeal go, right? He probably called it a favor from one of these guys. I will not be surprised, especially if it's proven now that he can do that. It's also proven that he gets access to a lot of these victims, and he also bullies them to putting out videos that are favorable to him, right? That's all even proven. And Andrew Tate had no idea a lot of this stuff was going on because he had no idea that when they released Andrew Tate along with his belongings, they tracked his phone. He was bugged. So they got him on bug. They got the screenshots and everything. And realistically, you guys got to start realizing that he's done. I don't care what you guys are saying. Listen, you guys are not looking at the full war here. You're just focused on winning little battles. It's not going to get you anywhere, okay? He's not going to win the overall war, okay? Unless he escapes and flees the country, he's not going to win, okay? Listen. Just do the research. Just do the research. All you have to do is read what's out there and then look at what Andrew Tate is saying. Is he saying anything to refute those claims against him? All right. Is he providing the facts that there are matrix out there? Are there DMs and examples that he can provide to you and tell you that this isn't real because here's the full story? No, he's not doing that. Realistically, if he was being framed when Dicot dropped the DMs, right, and leaked it saying, "Hey, this is the scumbag. Have a go at it," right? If Andrew Tate was being framed, he had access to the full thing, right? Why didn't he drop his full context, right? To say, "Hey, here's my phone history. All right, here's my WhatsApp history. I can even get it from the carrier right now. Okay, my lawyers can secure that information. All right, and they prove that what these guys are putting up here does not match what went through." He can do that. He got money. He could pay his attorneys to really get information if they wanted to, but he's not doing any of that. If anything, he's just going out there saying more of the same thing. It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. They're all coming after me because I told young men to be successful online. Nah, bro. They're coming after you because they realized the shit that you were bragging on YouTube was actually real. It's your real life. You're actually, and that's one thing I would say. Andrew Tate was bragging about his real life. He won this one, because listen. A lot of these manosphere guys, like the Lord Marquardt and Anton Daniels and Angry Mans of the world, a lot of these guys, they come out here and they really brag. They're very braggadocious. They talk about the money, they talk about the women, and you can tell when they talk, it's like, hey, y'all are faking. Y'all are just all talk, no skin, right? But when Andrew Tate is out here, you would think that he was around the same boat, right? When you talk about the pimping stuff and whatnot, I thought he was just, if anything, I thought he was just embellishing when he was talking about that trafficking shit. But then evidence came out that he's being indicted for that. And you had no choice but to say, okay, it's a little too close to what he's been bragging about. So maybe there's something to it. And then there are other people being indicted alongside with them. And then you're like, oh shit. And then when the official charges came out saying, listen, we got you on rape of a minor, trafficking of a minor. We got you on rape, and then we also got you on trafficking in continued form. I'm sorry, bro. They got you. You're done. There's nothing else. I don't know how else you can wrap this up in a bow. All right, you're going to prison. It is what it is. Listen, y'all can listen. All y'all that are in the chat right now, I don't know if y'all are bots. Based on what I heard, y'all might not be real. Okay, but. Keep dreaming. They haven't dropped the charges. He's locked down under the city. He can't leave. If you wanted to visit him, all right, he's not going to fly out to United States to do a podcast. They still got to come to him. He can't go anywhere. Okay, he's not free. He's under investigation, and it's pretty serious. Emmanuel, shout out to you. Says, Common Sense Skeptics has 2 bombshell videos about state that you should check outside. About state or Tate. Let me see if that's something we should check, right? Because we're not done with this. A lot of y'all think this is some kind of victory. There's no victory here, bro. It's a done deal. And that's why this was so sad about this, right? Because a lot of the tater tots and like the guys like, Myron and them, they're going to be spreading the rumors like, oh, you see, there's no evidence. They're going to further lie to you. They're going to further get your hopes up and whatnot. And I get it. It's fine. At least you guys come here to get a dose of reality, right? Because I'm not going to bullshit you. The charges are real. They didn't get dropped, and he's still locked down. There's no other evidence you need that this guy isn't going anywhere. They're taking another 60 days Listen, man, when Dyke finally got the evidence and they said, we're sending this over to the judge, all right, and the judge is going to finally review it. It was supposed to take 60 days, no more than. And throughout those 60 days, his appeals kept getting denied. But what ended up happening after the 60 days? Then the judge came out and say, hey, you know what? We're dropping a charge and Andrew Tate's going free. No. They said, we need another 60 days. That's what they said. We need another 60 days. All right. And when they did that, all of a sudden you got the Tate camp, because that's all his lawyers are good at now, is just filing appeals. They can't get Andrew Tate to shut up. So they got to keep filing appeals to at least make life a little easier for Andrew Tate. And they finally got that appeal. But guess what? They still don't trust him enough to give him his traveling documents or certain things like that. All right. They don't know him. Listen, he's still a flight risk. That's why he's under judicial control. All right. Look at the bigger picture here. Listen, I'm glad that he's out. You know, less things to worry about. But let's worry about this case right here that's not going away. All right. You're facing 13 plus years, bro. You and your brother. This is going to be serious. So, Chad, let me know what you think. Let me know, because I think a lot of these tater tots, they don't know how this shit works. They don't get it, but maybe y'all can help me. Maybe I'm missing out on something, right? Maybe there's something I am not quite understanding. So you know what I like to do. Leave it to my ones and twos. So you let me know, okay? Put a one in the chat if you believe this guy is going to prison. It don't matter if you get moved from house arrest to locked down to the city, okay? If the charges weren't dropped, you're going to prison, okay? Or put a 2 in the chat if you see this whole new him being released from house arrest over to being locked down to the city is some kind of proof that Andrew Tate is innocent. All right, because that's what he's saying right now. He's saying that the fact that he is now free to roam the city and not go past the city, all right, that means he's somehow innocent. And I don't even know how to even take that seriously, bro. But let me know. One if he's guilty, one if it isn't. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.